Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay, American Horror Story. Tonight's episode brought out some weird shit, and it's a weird timing because the first thing to notice about this episode is that they edited some of it because of the Las Vegas shootings and all this stuff that had happened. I didn't actually go online and watch, because they came up with a screen in the beginning of it, and it said, you know, if you want to watch the unedited version, go here and you can watch it, which is a cool thing to do.
Yeah, that sucks what happened up there, and we don't comment on shit like that, and that was a fucking terrible tragedy, and you know it's a terrible thing that happened. But yeah, you're right. It's a unique and cool thing to see a company do that for something like that. So
yes, I mean you want to see everything in its natural state, but
we're not against like artistic expression. Like I think that you should be able to tell a story no matter what it is, even if it's controversial, just because that is in of itself art. But I mean, at the same time, to have some respect for something that happened that was real and really affected people is not a bad thing, Chancho. And good luck to you in your fucking lives because you got some karma coming to you. Good karma.
It's supposed to be a moment of escape and relaxation or whatever. Not relaxation, maybe that's weird.
I relax.
I'm gonna massage your wiener.
Oh,
that's relaxation.
That's called a fucking Asian massage.
The last thing you want to do is have someone turn it on for some escapism and have it remind them of something traumatic and awful. So good on you guys for doing that. I totally support it and agree with it. So this episode starts out with literally the mass shooting thing, which you can clearly see the tie-ins and why they did what they did. But as it starts out, you just see a bunch of people laid down. It's Kai's like announcement address or whatever it is that's going on. It's this big political event, and someone whips out a gun and starts shooting, and they mislead you by showing you the characters running away, and it's this crazy scene, which, again, I haven't seen the unedited version. Someone comment down below and let us know what happened in that, because we're shooting this right afterward. They lead you to believe that Kai's dead. He's laying there, and you knew he wasn't.
That was a smart move.
But part of me thought maybe he was, just because...
I did.
They do the Game of Thrones thing in American Horror Story. They killed off... Evan Peters' character so early last season that you're thinking that maybe they'll do it again. And I want to bring up something real quick.
Evan Peters last season, all he did was fucking a tub.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he really didn't do anything other than just fucking a tub every once in a while and be like very fluty about everybody else. Like, you'll pull. I mean, I don't care about what you say. So yeah,
he died.
But I did think that. I mean, he's been hanging around as a focal point this entire season, and I thought, okay, now's the time. You're gonna pop his ass. You're gonna and kill him, and then you're gonna have Beverly take over. And I was like, here we go. Yeah. And I thought that one might have been happening because I was kind of scared. I was kind of like, Kai, no.
And I want to. You mentioned that point real quick. I want to mention the guy that watches the videos. His Instagram. We'll put the link below because it's a really good freaking point. Edgy memes is my disease. But he brought up something that we missed earlier in the seasons. We were bitching about all the stuff with them being shitty parents because they kept bringing Winter. Or Winter kept letting...
Winter is coming.
Winter kept letting spring come.
It's coming.
But we mentioned the point, like, why do they still have this babysitter around after all this fucked up shit with the kid? And the last episode, they revealed, obviously, that Ivy was a part of the cult. So there's your answer right there. We actually called that a plot hole for a couple episodes, but it actually wasn't because it makes perfect sense that Ivy's in the cult. She's the one that was letting her back in.
Well, we also get to explore a bit of... the motivations behind why Ivy is really in the cult. Because right after the mass shooting, we kind of have a playback that tells us what they were going to do after Winter and Ivy had locked up Mr. Good Old Gary in the fucking basement to stop him. He's like, you ain't voting for Trump, bitch. Mask. And he's like, I'll show you. And shaved his own fucking arm off. She's like, my brother can handle this. Don't worry, we're not going to get busted. She takes Ivy, introduces her to Kai, and then we have the whole circle of trust. Once you're out, I will take you down. I will take you down to Chinatown, and gives her the whole pinky swear. We find out that she always hated Allie mainly because of the birthing experience. Like that, she felt like she wanted to birth the baby and carry the boy around in her stomach.
It's funny, dude.
And now she never got the opportunity. And Kai, being the OG master manipulator, take a bow that he is, basically convinced her, said she only did it because she wanted to make the baby closer to her. And she wanted to fuck you over. You gonna take that, Steve Dave? I think not. And that's again, Evan Peters' performance is amazing. And the way that his character is written is so well developed and manipulative, and the way that they're using the fear thing. Man, I gotta hand it to you. I don't know when the Emmys are, but they gotta already fucking lock him down.
That's what it was. Sarah Paulson's character was breastfeeding her, and she was being kind of snide about it. She was like, "Oh, she wants the real thing."
Well, I mean,
Diet Coke. And then they had an interesting cult perspective on that too when she was talking about it, because she was like, "I don't understand. She's not one to follow people. She's not a follower. She believes in nothing." And they were like, "That's exactly how it starts. That's how these cult guys get inside their heads and stuff like that." And they actually make direct references to him as Charles Manson in this episode. But I thought it was funny when he was sitting there with Ivy, because you really get her backstory all the way through this, and a lot of shit makes sense. But when he's sitting there with her and they're doing the pinky promise, and he's like, "What if I offered you my young hot sister? Would that make you feel better?"
I was like, yeah,
it was like an Anchorman when Ron Burgundy was like, "If I gave you some money out of my wallet, would that make you feel better?"
It was kind of like him going, "Do you like it to goods?"
She didn't even say.
Do you like it to goods?
She didn't even say no either. She was like,
no. She said yes.
She was like, "I mean, it would make me feel a little bit better, but I don't want to lose my kid." So that's where this whole plan has come in, and that's why you've seen Sarah Paulson so easily fucked with.
But
all these
I also
episodes.
feel weird that Kai said my hot young sister. I'm like, God, dude, that's fucking gross, man. I would never say my hot young sister's like, that's fucking
She likes
nasty.
my Cheeto face, and we do weird shit.
Kai is
type porn.
fucking wild. He's on the edge, living on the edge. And so from there, what's the next one?
Meadow, actually, this comes before that, actually. You skipped ahead of me, little bitch.
Well, fucking I do things. That's not the norm.
We tie it with the last episode, with what happened a little bit with Meadow, whereas we thought Meadow had died, but she's actually still alive. She shows up at the window, and she's the one who plants the little fuck you in Sarah Paulson's ear that her wife's in on the whole thing. So we go back to that moment, and it turns out that for whatever reason, well, we know why, but they didn't kill Meadow as you previously had thought. Like, not, at least not in the way that it had happened.
That was a cool little twist that they did.
Yeah, they just took her outside and they put a bag over her head, put her in the fucking garage, and then went inside and just fucked like crazy.
Oh my god,
that was crap.
I didn't know that was gonna happen, dude.
It's just skin Steven, but Jesus.
I heard ooh.
You expected to hear it, but you got another.
I thought a fucking rhino was giving birth. But the girl walks in. Allie walked in, and she's like, "Who?" And you see some jeans on the floor, and these two dudes are fucking going hard at the 50. Like, they really are fucking hard. And I was not expecting. I was like, "What?" But I mean, it is what it is. And then she goes around and finds Meadow, still tied up, hog-tied, unties her, gets her out of the house. And then pepper sprays my boy, and fucking he runs away into the night.
He came out of there like fucking Jason too. He kicked out the doors like, "You fucking bitch."
But when the cop did. But when she sprays the guy in the fucking face, it was just funny because like, oh my god! Like the way he looked, he was like, "I can't believe you pepper sprayed me."
That's acting.
But it didn't look good acting. Like it was just like, it just looked like he was shocked and like you. Like, I hog-tied you, I get it, I was gonna kill you, but you had to pepper spray me? Are you fucking joking?
This stings!
But, she drives off into the night with, Meadow, and in doing so, we finally get more in-depth about exactly what Meadow told Allie, because Allie at this point, I remember the last time that Allie even had an interaction with her was through the window. And now that she's actually been able to communicate with her, Meadow lays the whole fucking thing out, tells her about Kai, tells her about the cult, tells her about her wife, tells her about...
But it was all a dream!
Everything. And she's like, I do believe it.
Flat top is my enemy. Shout out to my wife, by the way. She called this out way before I did. But the second they walked into the therapist's office and you saw that Meadow was all calm and shit, like you knew something was up. Okay, Meadow, they're still fucking with her. This is all part of the plan, and they're doing this shit on purpose.
At first I didn't think that Meadow was, but then once later on things started happening, I was like, "You've done it again, Kai!" The reason why Meadow was all about Kai at first was because, while Meadow was watching her husband fall in love with this other dude and knowing that she was never going to be enough for him, but she's always loved him since she was 10 years old, Kai actually gave her attention and gave her the things that she needed.
She had to watch her boyfriend or her husband over there flicking this dude's nipples or whatever, right on the couch, doing some Netflix and chill right in front of her.
Kai's like, Kai gives this great fucking line about how, larvae has to shed their skin to be like a butterfly kind of thing. I'm
creepy.
The way he said it was good though, and I'm like, man, you got that weird game.
You're talking to a dude who jacked off in a shower and stared into another man's eyes, and the guy was like, "You know what? Let's be best friends."
I was like, "You got that weird game, but you got that good game. And then she thinks that she's very unique and special, but then she finds out and sees him saying the same thing to Ivy. He's trying to get on that fucking lesbian train. And let's face it, if you can break that fucking force field, man, you are worthy. I mean, he was trying to break that force field. But then she starts getting pissed. But again, it gets all back around, and we'll get to there. But that was one of the reasons why at first, you know, we think that Meadow is completely
That's where it all breaks apart, because she gets pissed off. She runs upstairs, and you almost think it's all part of Kai's plan or whatever. But they stop her. He takes her in the garage, ties her up. He tells them he's going to kill her, but then he frees her. And then one of the most awkward, strange sex scenes. I had a weird boner. I don't know why.
I did too, man.
Strange.
I did too.
But it's the most confusing boner I've ever had. But he unties Meadow, and he's like, actually, I'm fucking deeply in love with you. Like, I'm obsessed with you and in love with you, and you're the only one who could free me. And while he's inside of her, he's like, by the way, you gonna kill yourself for me? Oh yeah. She's like, okay, I'm special?
This motherfucker has galactic game at that point. I mean, you literally are laying your pipe in a girl, and she's loving it, and you're telling her to kill herself and still do what you want her to do.
It couldn't have been that great, because, like, he'd already began, and they're in the middle of sex, and they just stop, and he's like, no, the logistics are this. We're going to go here, and then I'm going to take her there, and then when I'm at we're going to go to Burger King later, and then...
He's just in control of his dick. He knows how to fucking handle it. I mean, he's got the stamina to go,
It's like a bad marriage when you're like, I'm not talking about mine. I'm talking about like in movies and stuff like that. Like you're having sex with someone and it's so simple. You're like in the middle. You're like, did you get the groceries? I think we should have pork chops tomorrow night. That'll be great.
Well, I don't remember the movie that I'm thinking of, but when they're having sex, the guy's really trying hard, and she was like, I'm looking at these magazines, and I really think
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm really thinking that this looked like good on the living room patio. Or the patio, and he's like, yeah, fucking yeah. But I mean, but then again, look, Kai is not
the Roxbury.
But Kai's not even really into it either. But he is into it in some way, because I think he's getting turned on the fact that she was hogtied, one, like it turned him on, and two, the fact that she was so willing and easy to manipulate to get him exactly what he wanted, because, you know, Meadow called him out. She's like, when is the last time anybody made a fucking bit of difference from a zoning committee, and you're only doing this for your fucking own petty self, and everybody's being used, and no one sees it. So he did call him out, and he's like, fuck, I'm gonna fuck this bitch, because I think I likes her. But then he tells her, he's like, I think that you get me and whatever. But again, even in the moment of tying a girl up, literally hog tying her, telling her that she's gonna be dead, killed, you still have sex with her, and she wants it, and then tells you that she will kill herself for you. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you are. You're like, I don't know. It's like Chuck. He's like, I don't know if I should take fucking notes or kill you.
She was willing to fuck a hobo for a joint.
That's true. So it's not really saying much, but still.
I like at the end though when he's like, you understand what I'm saying, right? Like, I want you to kill yourself. And she's like, yeah. And I was waiting for her to be like, actually, I don't. What are you saying? Do you actually want me to kill? You want me to die?
Yeah.
Is that what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, I do.
that's her whole backstory. That ties in later. But like you were talking about, Mayor Winningham, however you say it, she seemed like she was gonna be a really strong character in the show.
I've seen her in shit before.
She's a badass, man.
Yeah.
Like, she shows up and he's talking, he's doing his fear mongering, and she's like, no, fuck your shit and the clique you claim. I'm gonna run this shit. And she tries to leave, and she can't figure out if it's a push, pull, or door. And then she's like, push it real good. That was from the campaign. But then we go to her house, because Sarah Paulson's character is beyond stupid.
Well, I want to get really, because when he was having that fear mongering speech with the town council and the members, he was doing good. I mean, he was really up there. And she stands up and calls like she literally says bullshit, and then tells him, you know, this is where she's basically talking about that you're not a conservative. I've met conservatives, and you're not a Democrat. You're basically a reactionary. You're a person that just feeds off of certain things happening, and, you know, makes that the fuel to get you the votes that you need. That there is no boogeyman out there. There is no, you know, there's no people that are going to get you. What she's trying to do is she's trying to embarrass him. Yeah. Because by embarrassing him and taking away that power that he's already acclimated, that you defeat him. Because if I don't know, if you fucking killed him or something, it's not going to be the same. You can make him a martyr at that point. But you can make everything he was saying true. But
foreshadowing.
But it is foreshadowing. But if you embarrass him, if you take him down, then you win. You win full-heartedly. But then we get to her house, and
she lives like Dr. Loomis in Curse of Michael Myers. Not dead, just very much retired. And the guy she's sitting at, but it shows what a badass she is, and it's actually misleading because you think she's going to be really important. but she fucking dies. Spoiler alert. She's sitting there, and as soon as there's a knock on her door, Sarah Paulson leaves Meadow with the therapist who's running the whole.
We know who that is.
Jesus. And she's like, I'm
We know that is.
and I'm gonna go take care of.
Well, to be honest, Allie doesn't know.
Yeah,
Right?
but she goes to her, and then like it's the worst. It's the worst tug and pull that you could ever get with something, because she shows up and she's like, no, I actually believe you. Let's do this shit. You came to the right place.
While she's rolling a fucking joint.
Yeah, like she's
yeah,
super bad. Like she doesn't give a fuck about who's at the door. She breaks out the gun. She tells shit how it is, and she sits in front of you about to run for office and smokes a joint. This chick's badass.
I don't know, man, because I don't know if that'd be badass or she's like, I'm in the wrong fucking place, because I don't think you're really taking me seriously. If I went to somebody's place that was a politician, I'm trying to tell them what's happening, that Kai is actually a murderous cult leader, and he's got all the people involved, and this is what he's going to do, and he probably will fuck you over. She's like...
Makes sense.
Then I'm like, okay, as soon as she starts rolling shit, I'm like, I'm talking to Willie Nelson. Like, that's what I'm talking. He's like, you know how much condoms cost back in the day? I don't know, because we didn't use them. Like, it was, I mean, because at that point, it like... all credibility goes out the window. Like, you're rolling a joint in front of me, like, I've seen shit. I went to Berkeley.
I thought it was ultimate credibility, because she's like, I don't give a fuck.
But you're like making yourself look stupid, because I'm telling you that you have a murderous cult leader that has a lot of people involved, and instead of acting concerned, you're like, all we gotta do is bring him down.
Makes sense, motherfucker.
But here's the key word: fucking 50. Like, you're going to die. I'm telling you, he's not just a cult leader, he's murderous. He's done the things that he's committed murder. And then she's like, I like this weed. But anyway, at that point, the big baddies, they break in. Kai and his crew break in the fucking door. I call him the crew, but he's like, first off, fuck your bitch, like Mike said. But, coming straight from the underground. But anyway, they break in the fucking door. And now here's the problem I have with the character of the mayor. Allie runs down the hallway and hides in the bathroom. You know, we expected crying. Wow, that's a shocker. But when the clowns come in, led by Kai, she pulls a gun, right? She pulls a gun first, and she just holds it on him. She's got at least 6 rounds in that fucking gun. I would not wait for it. She's like, I'm just daring one of you fucks to make a move. I'd be like, boom, boom, boom. I love Duck Hunt. Instead of talking and saying, make a move, just pull the fucking trigger. Did Loomis hesitate to blow Michael fucking Myers out the top of the window 6 times? Yeah. And he treated that bitch 15 years.
But once she shot one of them, they were just going to hoard her. So she was trying to scare him into like, as soon as one of you makes a move, you're going to be the one who dies. So maybe nobody makes a move and I can escape this bitch. But either way, she gets it.
But she gets it. And Kai does something smart at this point. He doesn't say, I'm just going to murder her, because that George guy or whatever his name is like, I fucking murder her already, because he's like, I just don't like this girl. He's like, that'd be too easy. I got a perfect idea.
As soon as he gets on Facebook, it's funny as fuck, because you know exactly what he's going to do.
And again, it goes back to the intelligence of the character itself and how they've written him. He knows the best way to destroy her is not just, fucking kill her. He's going to make a post on Facebook where everybody sees it and talk about how, this and that's happening, and I'm going to commit suicide and be a coward and get my way out of it, and then suicides her. Suicides her right off the fucking bitch.
The Facebook comment cracked me up, though, because right before he does it, she's like, no one's going to believe you. He's like, of course they will. It's on Facebook.
And that's the truth.
Another one of those really well-written quips towards everybody on both sides of the fucking election and all the crazy shit going on. It's actually got, this whole season has gotten smart, as well as it has actually sort of scary and disturbing at times, and just well fucking written. You gotta hand it to this episode and this season, what they're doing.
And the other thing that happens in that scene, after they suicide her, Allie's still crying in the bathroom thinking about things. I don't know.
So useless.
Not making fucking attempt to do anything except cry in a corner.
She's Kate from Lost. We gotta go back, Jack.
I was like, hey, do you do anything but cry? But I felt like that's all you can do. So one of the clowns make their way down the hallway looking through the rooms because they hear something, and it happens to be Ivy. She opens the door. By the way, she's not wearing gloves. You know what I mean? Like,
they've been that way this whole episode.
Yeah, I know, but it's so weird. Like, you don't fingerprint for shit.
She puked in the toilet at the last guy's house. I think DNA... You got DNA.
Unless she flushed it and then wiped the fucking handle. I don't... Anyway,
we're getting... bitch DNA.
It's more tactical. But she opens the door. She sees Allie. Ivy doesn't do anything. She shuts the door and she moves on from the house. So Allie lives. And Allie knows now for sure that Ivy is one of the crew members. And then we get towards the end of it.
Yeah, the penultimate scene is... the intro wasn't what she thought it was. She shows up at the rally or whatever it was where Kai's up there talking, and you find out, this is actually where you find out that he's talked Meadow into doing this whole thing. She walks up, Allie walks up, and she starts yelling at everybody, just being an idiot, like, what are you doing? Stop! Stop it!
I have tears.
I need that porcupine.
I'm trying to go for an award.
I just wanted to get these shoes home and skate with them, and you won't let me buy these shoes. I don't understand this eBay store. But she goes over.
All I want to do is just check my bag.
and it's kind of a weird scene or whatever, but Meadow fulfills her prophecy, and she shoots Kai in the leg, which, by the way, that whole plan's fucked from the get, because I'm not giving this chick, who's flimsy as hell, a gun and letting her shoot me in the leg from afar.
But Kai, never fired see, that's why Kai was smart as fuck, dude. He knew to manipulate.
She could have shot him in the dick.
But the guy, but I mean,
on pure fucking ballistics. I mean, what word am I looking for? Pure aiming alone. That
possibly,
she could have shot him in the dick.
Possibly. But you know, Kai. He was like, I'm gonna take the chance on that. But the fact that he knew she wasn't actually gonna kill him because Kai knew her. She never had fucking sex. She never really had love before. So at this point, he knew he had her lock, stock, and barrel.
His plan makes sense. I'm just saying the flat fact of the matter is she knows she's supposed to shoot him and not kill him. That would scare me. I'd be like, we're gonna go to the range and shoot a couple rounds off. We're gonna get you a little
just aim to the left, not to my whatever you don't hit my dick.
She easily could have shot him in the dick.
But then she turns around and starts killing other people at the rally. And just doing it, I'm assuming that was part of Kai's plan too. Again, because it adds the terror aspect of like they don't want anything different from what they say. And then Allie, being her fucking moronic self, tries to stop her, and then she's like, "This is the face of true love," and blows her fucking brains out. If that's the face of true love, that's so wants it. Then she's holding the gun. Because Allie's smart like that, crying still. The cops show up, which is the very beginning, and they tell her to drop the gun. So now Allie is fucking involved with this whole thing. And what cop is going to believe her? Because now this is going to come back to the psychiatrist saying that she was delusional and she was hyperventilating. She was being off her rocker when she came to me, bringing Meadow.
Far stretch for them to go and say that she's actually going to get this pinned to her. Like, I feel like there was too many people there. There was a lot of stuff going on. This is in the middle of the public. Someone's gonna be able to say, "Oh, it wasn't her shooting everybody. That was the last. She didn't have the gun till the last second." An eyewitness, a lot of people escaped there, are gonna be able to say, unless the cult comes back and points the finger at her and says, "I've seen."
Again, I don't. This is easy. I mean, Beverly was recording, right?
Yeah.
She could edit the video.
I'm just saying, there's got to be.
I mean, that's
a lot of people there.
Yeah, there are, but you could edit the video down, and then all Kai's brothers got to say is that yes, she's a patient of mine, and she came here basically with Meadow, got mad at me when I let Meadow go, and then. And again, maybe she didn't completely involve herself in it, that she didn't commit the murders, but she is still an accessory to murder, and I told her for her own good to lock her up.
It all works out, and because it works out, but from the forefront when you're planning that, I see like 1,000 plot holes, but it's a TV show and we're having fun with it, so fuck it. But yeah, that's the whole plan. Like, I think they're trying to pin it on Sarah Paulson, and that's,
I think it's going to work.
Next episode.
I think it might work, Kai. You might get the fucking blueberry heller. I mean, he looks like a blueberry muffin, dude. I would never. It's so funny that a town would exist in America at all that would vote for his fucking.
I mean, it's the zoning council.
But
so.
It's fucking. I mean, you have a bun. You have a man bun that's half blue. It's weird. I was like, I mean, if you dye your hair like that color, that's cool. But I wouldn't vote for you.
Ultimately, this episode, I liked it a lot. I really, really enjoyed it. The whole Sarah Paulson thing, I felt for a second. The only thing I'll say against it is I felt for a second when she realized she's not crazy and that shit's going on. I thought we were going to get that redemptive arc where she was going to turn into a badass and be like, no, fuck you guys for putting me through all this. I'm going fucking ham on everybody. But she doesn't. She kind of, when shit hits the fan, she runs back and hides in the bathroom and starts crying again. I felt like that was the point where you could have made a cool arc for her. But I'll give them a chance because they may be saving that for later. It was a little bit disappointing to see that. Apart from that, I love the episode. I thought it was great. I thought all the characters were great in it. I was happy to see Meadow back because even in real life, she'd be an annoying human being. But for the show, I like her. She's entertaining as hell. It was just a good episode. I liked it a lot.
The episode was solid as hell. I think that Kai is still demonstrating the fact that he is a master manipulator and he still got shit way under control, even though it looked like a few times that he was losing control, that he wasn't going to get it back. But again, it goes back to how well the character's written and how well that Evan Peters is portraying this character. And again, man, this guy is 95% of why the cult American Horror Story is doing so well. Not to take any credit away from the actors that are around him, but dude, like, he is the fucking pinnacle point of what everybody tunes in every night to watch, is because his performance is so good and it's so powerful every time he's on screen. Like, you're just like, I don't know what this motherfucker's thinking. I don't know his motivations. I don't know how he's going to turn this to that. I mean, he's like Alfred Hitchcock. I'm going to Hitchcock your shit. I mean, he's just up in that shit and he knows what he's doing. But again, Sarah Paulson, look, I just don't like her in this season so far. I just don't. And there's a lot of people that don't, because they have made her character consistently crying in the corner, not doing anything. And in some way, you'd be like, I can kind of relate to Ivy wanting a divorce from her, because if all you fucking do is cry and whine and not know how to think for yourself and not know how to do anything, I don't want to fucking deal with you.
Yeah.
But again, it's possible, like you said, that later on in the episode, they kind of open her up more and we see a little bit more of her. But
I think she's gonna fuck some people up.
And I have no illusions at all. I mean, unless they were going full on crazy, that Kai is gonna live. Like, none. I mean, I think that he's gonna die a very violent death at some point. But I do think that if they did let him live and we just went on with this, you know, kind of crazy and have the bad guy in kind of thing, I mean, it's American Horror Story, so anything can happen, so who knows?
And a quick shout out to the guy I mentioned earlier, Edgy Memes Is My Disease. He actually brought that up, a point we were talking about before, that he thinks that the reporter lady is going to end up taking over the call. And if you stick around and you watch the What's Coming Next Week, which has some batshit stuff in it, they do hint to that as well. So she's going to be a huge danger for him. She may be taking him
We're getting
out.
close to the end, I hope.
We're only actually, I think, 6 episodes. Yeah, so there's at least 4 more episodes to go.
Yeah.
So comment down below. Let us know what your all's thoughts on this episode were. Where do you think it's all going to go from here? We love your fucking faces. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham opinion.
Holy fuck. You know what we didn't say? Fucking and touching and sucking. When we did it.
That's for trailer reactions, you stupid
no,
bitch.
it fucking didn't.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.